Berthoud is one of those small towns that has totally captured my heart. Maybe because I grew up there and partially because it really is one of the Front Range's hidden gems, but like anywhere else, it does come with the good and the bad, and yes, even the ugly. So today, I'm going to be breaking down the real pros and cons of living in Berthoud, Colorado. And remember, whether you're thinking of making a move here to Colorado in 9 days or 90 days, this video will give you everything you need to know to decide if Berthoud should be on your priority list. I'm Sophia Cottle, and I'm a Colorado native, and I'm a local realtor, and I actually grew up here right in town. I grew up in Berthoud, so this one is very, very special to me. On this channel, I'm going to share the good, the bad, and all of the ugly of living here in Colorado so you can make the best decision for you and your family. So please, if you haven't already, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and drop a comment if you have questions about Berthoud. So let's dive into it. One of the biggest pros of Berthoud, Colorado is the small town vibe. You guys, it's literally the cutest town in the entire world, and I'm always going to say that. You're always going to know your neighbors. You see very familiar faces at the local coffee shops, at the grocery stores, or if you're at a football game on Friday night, you're so going to know who's hanging out next to you. And so I really, really love that. There's a real sense of community in this town that I truly feel like you do not find in the larger cities. And the best part about living in Berthoud is you're only about 20 minutes from Target, you're about 20-30 minutes from Costco, and all of those big box shopping centers in Loveland or even Longmont, and you're fairly close to Fort Collins and even Denver. So you really do get the best of both worlds. You get a very small town feel with quick access to the bigger city amenities. When I went to school in Berthoud, I went to the Berthoud School Districts my entire life. There were kids in high school who would literally drive their tractors to school. So if that doesn't tell you how small the town was when I was a child, then I don't know what would. There would always be a line of tractors outside, and that would be their way that they commuted to school. Another huge pro is how close you are to the mountains. From Berthoud, you can jump on Highway 56 and 287 and be in Estes Park or Rocky Mountain National Park in under an hour. For anyone who loves hiking, if you love camping, fishing, or just taking a mountain drive, I promise you guys Berthoud is one of the best locations on the Front Range for all of that. The views are incredible. If you walk outside, the mountains are literally right in your face. You can see them very, very closely. If you live in Berthoud, you also have a beautiful lake that's nestled in the mountains. It's called Carter Lake. You can hike around it, you can paddleboard, you can take boats, jet skis, you can literally do anything. I don't want to spoil it too much because you have to just go see Carter Lake. Berthoud has also done a very, very good job of preserving its charm. Downtown is basically one main street. You have a couple stoplights, but if you take the interstate in, you're going to hit the downtown. It's full of historic buildings. There's a couple of great restaurants. There's a ton of coffee shops. They even have some fun boutiques downtown as well as antiques. My favorite all-time breakfast spot is called Mi Cocina. They actually have two restaurants. One is a burrito stand and the other is a full sit-down Mexican restaurant with a bar. But you guys, the burrito shop is one of a kind. It's chef's kiss. They have bacon, sausage, steak, really you name it, they have it. The prices are amazing and they are huge breakfast burritos. So if you're in Berthoud, stop by Mi Cocina and get a breakfast burrito. There's also a very, very cute pizza shop downtown, and it's called Berthoud Pizza Company, which is also a 10 out of 10. We've been going there for a couple of years, and I don't know about you, but I love pizza, so highly recommend them. The town also has really fun community events. They have something in July called Berthoud Days, which you have parades, you have your festivals, you have Oktoberfest, and then you have weekly farmers markets in the summer, and those kinds of events really do bring the whole community together. There's not a whole lot going down besides like restaurants and coffee shops, so that's one thing that everybody really does like to go to. Now, on the flip side, one of the cons of Berthoud is how fast it's growing. When I was a kid, it was very quiet. Now there are entire new neighborhoods popping up everywhere, especially along the east side of town. Builders like D.R. Horton, there's Toll Brothers, and Custom Home Builders have all planted roots everywhere. Where I grew up, there was a big bypass behind our house, and now it's covered in houses. It's absolutely crazy. But that is bringing in a lot of new people and changing that small town feel little by little. But for some, that growth means more opportunities and a ton more amenities. They have added a rec center, which they never had before, so I think that's really cool. But I also do think on the flip side of that, many people do believe Berthoud is losing its quiet charm. It's no longer 6,000 people town, it's now probably a 15,000. Another con is the limited school system. Berthoud only has 2 elementary schools, they have 1 middle school and 1 high school. So yes, it's a little bit crowded. The schools are known for being very tight-knit and having a good community involvement. And the reality is you don't have a ton of options. If you want to send your kids to a charter school or specialty programs, you're likely going to have to commute to either Loveland, which Loveland has Loveland Charter, which has Loveland Classical, that's not too far, or you could take your kids to Longmont or Fort Collins. I will say though, one benefit of limited school systems is that all the kids know each other and they grow up together. I went to school with kids all the way from kindergarten all the way up to high school, and I thought that was very, very cool. You really get to know your people. It can be good or bad, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it. But let's talk about the food and the nightlife. If you're looking for a ton of options, Berthoud probably isn't going to be your place. There are a ton of great local spots. They have Berthoud Brewing, there's a sushi place, and a couple of sit-down restaurants, there's bakeries. We really have everything, but you don't have dozens of choices of one thing like you do in, let's just say, Loveland or Fort Collins. Downtown is basically a one-way in, one-way out type deal, and while that's part of its charm, it also means very limited variety. So if you're someone who loves trying new restaurants every single day, I hate to break it to you, but you're probably going to find yourself driving to Loveland or one of the surrounding towns. I will say though, over the years, Berthoud has gotten a ton of new restaurants, and way more than they ever had when I was a child. They now have a McDonald's, they got a Taco Bell, they have a Starbucks, and those are some of the big chains that they never had when I was a kid. So you do still have options, but nothing like the bigger cities. But here's where I like to keep it real with you guys. Berthoud is for you if you want a quiet, community-driven lifestyle, if you like being very close to the mountains, but don't need a ton of nightlife every weekend, and if you want that small town charm without being totally disconnected from bigger city conveniences. But then it might not be for you if you want a ton of dining, if you want a ton of shopping and entertainment right outside your front door. If you want a wide variety of schools to choose from, or if you're worried about buying in a town that's still growing and changing a lot, then Berthoud might not be for you. Since I grew up in Berthoud, I will tell you guys some of my best memories are from this town. Like I said, this town is incredible. I absolutely love it, and I hope one day I end up back in Berthoud, riding bikes down the dirt roads that now have neighborhoods, playing sports at the rec center, riding your bikes at the pool, or we spent a lot of time on the football field watching Friday Night Lights in high school. So it's so wild to me to see how much it has grown, and honestly, that's what makes it so special to me. I used to live there, and now I get to help families just like yourself discover the same community that I loved growing up in. If Berthoud is on your radar, don't just rely on YouTube. Please reach out to me. I help families move here all the time, and I would love to walk you through what it's really like to live here in Berthoud or another town here in Colorado. I will show you guys what homes are available and what neighborhoods might fit your lifestyle best. You can call, text, email me anytime that you like. If you want to hop on a Zoom call, we can do that too. Just look at my calendar link. All my contact info is in the description below. Berthoud is one of those places that has truly kept its heart while growing into something new. So whether you see the growth as a con or maybe an opportunity, it's a town that deserves to be on your list if you are looking in northern Colorado. And remember, whether you're thinking about making a move here to Colorado in 9 days or maybe 90 days, I would love to be your go-to resource and guide. I'm a Colorado native, so I know the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I'd be very honored to help you find your next home here in Colorado. Please do not forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below, and I would love to hear what you think about this cute little town at Berthoud. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!